everyone, welcome back to another Jazz Drummer Q-Tip of the week. My name is Quincy Davis. If you're new, thank you so much for stopping by. If you enjoy this lesson, go ahead and let me know by pressing that like button. And please consider subscribing because I put out a lot of drum lessons that many drummers have found helpful, and I'm confident you will too. All right, so I'm jumping right into this lesson on one of my favorite topics, the ride cymbal. One of the most important aspects of what we do as jazz drummers is play time on the ride cymbal. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can improve your ride cymbal feel. Okay, you ready? Here we go. All right, so the first thing I want you to practice is just your quarter note. This is probably the most important thing that we can provide on the ride cymbal. Just a good quarter note. And you can add your hi-hat too. Notice I'm not playing with my left hand, I'm not comping. I'm just focusing on getting a good consistent quarter note in the ride cymbal. And playing right with the bass. Okay? And with all of these exercises, I want you to make sure you're playing as consistently as possible, meaning you're getting consistent stick height, you're playing in the same place on the ride cymbal, beat to beat. Your technique does not change beat to beat, and you're getting a consistent sound. Okay, so then I want you to add your left hand and just practice upbeats and see if you can find a good place that makes the quarter note swing. Because if you don't put it in the right place, it's going to sound like this. And it's going to mess up the groove. We don't want to do that, right? Let me find it. Let me find the groove again. Here we go. There we go. And notice I'm using my wrist. I'm using my wrist, not my fingers and not my arm. My wrist. Okay? So that's something to work on. And if you want to work on feathering, hey, I just did a video on that. Check that out. I'll put the link above. You can work on your feathering right with your quarter note. Try to make sure your ride cymbal and your feathering are synced. Synced. All right, so that's just quarter notes. Hey, by the way, I want you to let me know in the comments down below who is your favorite, who are some of your favorite drummers to listen to for their ride cymbal feel. Let me know down below. Okay, for this next step, I'm trying to establish and play with a true triplet. 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4 lolly, 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4 lolly. Okay, a true triplet. And all of the notes are even. As in even the same dynamic, I should say. So it's not, and it's not that. You hear the difference? And it's not belabored. You don't want to be belaboring anything. You want it to be easy. Nice, getting a nice rebound, natural rebound, but you also have to control the stick somewhat. Okay, so trying to find that balance of rebound and control. And again, everything you're doing is consistent, nice and consistent. Using Greg Hutchinson's phrase, walk the dog, walk the dog, walk the dog. Simply walk the dog, and it's gonna feel good. And again, all the notes, if you notice, are all the same dynamic. You should be able to do this very easily and consistently. Notice I haven't added my left hand. I'm just focusing on the ride cymbal. It's really important that you focus on the ride cymbal and practice. Isolate the ride cymbal. Even without the feet, you can just practice the ride cymbal. Okay? And again, I'm trying to be as consistent. Ooh, that word messed me up. I'm trying to be as consistent with everything as possible. With my stick height, with the sound, with the location of where I'm playing on the ride cymbal, everything. Okay, so really pay attention to that. And I'm trying to be as relaxed as possible. No tension. Tension is a terrible thing. Okay. By the way, if you're interested in this bass play along, you can purchase that in my digital download store. I'll put the link down below. Really, very useful actually if you want to work on your time. So check it out. All right, so now hopefully you'll notice that my ride cymbal feel kind of changed a little bit. Now it's more quarter note centric, meaning I'm de-emphasizing the accent. Drummers who kind of played like this, who had this a similar feel, are Jimmy Cobb, Louis Hayes, right? And of course, the grand master of the ride cymbal, Kenny Clark. And you can practice by going like this. It's like a quick snap, but it's with my wrists, not my fingers. And then you just play the ride cymbal with that kind of snap in place. But it's a really great feel if you want to really swing the band with your quarter note, but also add the feel of the skip beat. So the other way that I was just showing you was, you hear the difference? This is more how like Max Roach, how Sam Woodyard, and even like Bill Stewart plays with more of an even ride cymbal beat. But then you hear somebody like Kenny Clark and he does this. Can you hear the difference? Let me know down in the comments below if you can hear the difference. Hopefully you can. Woo! I could do this all day. Thanks to this play along. Check it out. Okay, so now we're getting into more of a loose approach to playing the ride cymbal. Right? And someone like Elvin Jones, right? Jack DeJohnette, Roy Haynes, Paul Motion. You might hear them, especially Elvin, you might hear him emphasizing the offbeat. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that goes hand in hand with his comping. So you'll hear something like this. You hear it? And you can also do like a soft shoulder crash. It's really great exercise to work on. And you notice this, the ride cymbal beat is not as consistent. It's not a consistent 1, 2, 3, or walk the dog, walk the dog, walk the dog. We're getting away from that. We're changing it up. Walk the dog, walk the dog, walk the dog, walk. Right? And for you advanced players, you can add a lot of, you can really work on your triplets. Work on your triplets and trying to make sure you're kind of synchronizing and making sure your hands and your bass drum are working together to create this kind of rolling triplet feel. Right? So right? So once you really isolate all these different approaches, then it's just a matter of serving the music. You got to kind of figure out which approach best suits the music, the song, the style, right? So I'll kind of demonstrate how you can go in between all of them. if you need to, if you want to. 2, 1, 2, 3. Just quarter notes. Okay. Right? There's that quarter note centric feel. The accents like Elvin. Now it's just even, right? Now all the notes are the same dynamic. So that was a little much. I normally wouldn't kind of be going back and forth between all these different approaches so frequently. However, again, it's just a good way to work on your ride cymbal feel in different ways. Sometimes drummers get stuck only playing one way, but then what if you play a song or play it with a group that needs a certain style or a certain feel? What do you do then if you're not used to it? So it's really important to work on these different approaches, okay? And do not forget, this is probably the most important thing. Model your cymbal beat after somebody else's who you really admire. Like one of my people, one of my big idols, my first influences was Jimmy Cobb. So I tried to play my ride cymbal just like his. And that really helped me focus on an approach and a feel that I was going for. If you don't put it in, what? It's not going to come out. So you got to put it in, listen to some like killing incredible feels on the ride cymbal of different drummers, and it's going to seep into your own playing. Okay, I promise you that. So that's the lesson on how you can improve your ride cymbal feel. Okay, I hope this was helpful, and until the next time, as always, practice hard. Make sure you practice hard, but what? Practice smart. Okay, take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.